welcome to Learn to Playthrough. I'm your host Jonathan, and we're up at my workstation where we're going to go ahead and start the painting process of our miniatures. We got ourselves the Gunslinger and the Saloon Girl. So our first step that we're going to be doing is we need to give them a bath. So if there's any kind of dirt or dust or grime or oils on them, we need to go ahead and use some kind of a warm water with some kind of a soap. I'm using Dawn dishwashing soap in this one. So we'll go ahead and we'll just dunk her in there. So Yvette is getting her Saturday night bath. And we just take, I got a soft bristle brush here, toothbrush, and we just go ahead and just give her a little scrub down. La, 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 la. There we go. Try and get in all the crevices and stuff like that, so when you go to do the painting doesn't bubble up or just float off of the oils and the grime. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll just let her drop into there and get rinsed off, and we'll go ahead and start on Shauna, the Saloon Girl. Same thing, just start giving her a scrub down. And then once we're all done with this, we'll go ahead and take them outside and we'll get a priming done on them. Oop, there we go. So, they're way at the bottom. Alright, so just get them a rinse off. Yeah, it looks pretty good for the Gunslinger. And our Saloon Girl. I guess that looks pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, it's been pretty much just a little over 3 decades. So wow, I can actually say the word decades for the last time that I actually painted miniatures. And the time that I painted, they were metal, lead, or whatever the type of the metal that they used at the time. I'll go ahead and throw some pictures up on the screen here of the type that I did. Pretty much I did a straight paint job right onto the metal. I didn't wash them. I didn't use any kind of primer or anything like that. The only thing I did use that I learned a little bit later on were washes. But the washes I had to do were actually just taking black paint and then putting some water in it to dilute it so that when I put it onto the miniatures, they didn't cover them up totally black. But nowadays they got stuff already done up for that. Pre-wash, I guess you could call it. Alright, so they're pretty dried off, and they'll get more dried as we get them outside for some priming. Now, instead of spray painting and getting your hand all colored up, we're going to use basically a stick, a dowel, and then I got here, it's called poster tack. So just at the local hobby shop, and we'll go ahead and get a chunk of that out, hook it up at the top, and then put the base of the miniature on it to stick. So that's pretty good sticky stuff there. Alright, so I could probably just use half of that. Not much needed, I guess. Alright, we'll just put it right up on the top here. And our first one's going to be Yvette, the Gunslinger. And then, there we go. Stick her right up there, so it doesn't come off. And let's go and take the Gunslinger and the Saloon Girl outside and get them spray painted with some primer, which we'll be using our Army Painter White, and we're also going to be using black. So we'll talk about that when we get outside. So let's go ahead outside for some priming. Hello there, Jonathan here. And we're outside next to the side of the house here down by the gate. This is the area I like to do the spray painting at because the gate slows down the wind, but enough that you don't have to worry about the fumes knocking you out. Got ourselves the Gunslinger here, Yvette. We're going to go ahead and use the white and the black primer Now we're going to use the white primer as if it was the light source coming down from the top, so we'll spray paint white down on the miniature, and then the black we're going to spray paint upward to represent the areas underneath, like in the coat and underneath the hat and underneath the arms, to show the shadow areas. So we got ourselves the Army primer. Alright, so you can see it's all nice and white, and then when you flip her over, you can still see it's still some gray underneath there. So now we're going to go ahead and grab the black. So the black's going to represent the shadows, and now we're going to spray upward towards it. So there we go. So we got black and white. So you can see, like I said, underneath the areas there's going to be black to show the shadows, and then up top is where the highlights are going to be at from the light source. So let's go ahead and pop the Gunslinger off of the poster tack stuff. You just kind of have to put her back on there. And then we'll do the same thing with the Saloon Girl. There, she's on there all nice and good. And start off the white. Spray it directly down upon her. So there you can see how she's really got a lot of gray left on the front of her. On the back it's pretty white. We'll do the same thing with the black. We'll go and do upward shots on her. Alright, so there we got her, the black. Now supposedly what's going to happen here is that when you do painting, that painting on the black is going to make the colors darker to represent shadows, and painting on the white areas are going to lighten up the colors to show them as highlights. So let's go ahead and get back at the workstation and continue on. Hello there, Jonathan here, and welcome back to my workstation. We got our two heroes here all primed up with black and white to show the shadows and the highlights. Got ourselves the Gunslinger, and we got ourselves the Saloon Girl. And we got ourselves the paints that we're going to be using. Shadows of Brimstone, Heroes of the Old West. Inside the box we got 10 different colors. Got ourselves a paintbrush, precise detail. Got ourselves a painting guide showing the lawman and the 4 steps they used to paint him up and the different colors they used. And we got the Saloon Girl with the different colors they used, and instead of the steps that they used to paint her up, they're showing Gaming Standard and Masterclass. And what that means is that Gaming Standard is when you're looking at a miniature on the gaming board about 3 to 4 feet away and the paint job looks okay. The Masterclass is when you're up close and personal with them, that the detail and the paint job on them is very, very good. Another pack we have here is Creatures of the Void. We got that over here, which we'll use to paint up our enemies. Now, other than those two that show the Lawman and the Saloon Girl, in Shadows of Brimstone, City of the Ancients adventure book, on page 44, they got some more pictures of the heroes that you can use as reference. So let's go ahead and get our heroes back down to the gaming table. We'll go ahead and play through a couple more rooms, and then we'll bring them back up here and go ahead and start on the painting process.